learning new things, especially for exams, it can feel like you are trying to climb a mountain. And as if that's not difficult enough, you would be in your slippers? We have all been there, cramming, trying memory hacks, crying all day long, or praying to God for showing some mercy. But what if learning didn't have to be so painful? What if there was a magic trick that could tell about all the mysteries of the world? Let me tell you the story of how I cracked the code to learning. Back in 6th grade, the silly me was convinced that there was nothing beyond our textbooks, and that the world absolutely ended at page 102. My approach to learning? No better. It was as effective as using a spaghetti strainer to carry water in it. Now, if you're wondering how bad I was at studying, let me paint a picture for you. On a friend's recommendation, I once tried to study by recording myself reading my notes out loud, thinking I would listen back to it and magically absorb all the knowledge. Well, two things happened. First, I realized I sounded like an absolute sleep-deprived chipmunk. Secondly, I fell asleep listening to my own voice. My strategy used to be very simple. Read, reread, and... Wait a minute. Which chapter was I studying again? But hey, at least it didn't take me long to not learn stuff. When I entered 7th grade, I was eager to find a way to remember things effectively and efficiently. That was also the time when I got my first computer. So, I'm pretty sure you can connect the dots to what I would have done next. I went on a social media platform and started absolutely begging for help. I knew that social media had various study influencers who helped students like me having a hard time learning things. After an hour or so of constantly staring at the screen, I realized that there are various methods which I use for learning, such as writing things down. I tried using it, but it felt like scribbling on a foggy mirror. Nothing stuck, and I was left even more confused than before. Next, I tried active recall, a tip designed to jog your memory. But let's just say my brain had other plans, like catching up on some sleep. Or even better, remembering about that one embarrassing moment I did 4 years ago. At this point, I was ready to give up, and I started to picture depression himself waiting on the next station for me, with a black hoodie and goth eyeliner, ready to take me into his care. But that's when I stumbled upon the Feynman technique. Essentially, this involved learning by teaching. In simpler terms, it is like explaining quantum physics to your dog. If Fido understands it, you are on the right track. Fueled by this inspiration, I sprinted to my room, ready to tackle even the toughest of the concepts. I grabbed a whiteboard, a marker, some important notes of the chapter, and assembled every stuffed animal I could find. My plush god was ready for the class, and I was ready to teach. But then, of course, I remembered my true talent, procrastination. And so, naturally, I flopped onto my bed and slept a good night's sleep. But I woke up really early the next morning. So much so that legends even have it. I was the one who woke up our local rooster that morning. I decided to tackle the hardest concept of my science textbook. I explained it to my plush squad as if I was the best teacher they had ever seen. And this time, it actually worked. It was like suddenly realizing what the text wanted to convey to me all this while. I went over the chapter a few more times, and this was for the first time I had actually remembered what I had read. In fact, I even started throwing out questions at my class, and then ultimately answering those myself, because the plush squad didn't have much to say, except for the death stare all the time. And so, after much trial, error, and a lot of talking to my plush squad, I finally cracked the code to learning. Who would have thought that, with the right method, you'd actually remember what you studied? Now, I'm not also saying that Feynman technique will work magic for everyone. My friend, for instance, said that it helped him waste 2 hours of his life. But hey, whether you are explaining to a toy, sketching on that paper, or binging on those infographics, there is a method out there that will click with you. So go on, try them all out, find your groove, and thoroughly enjoy the journey of learning. That's my time. Thank you.